This is Ozymandias. It's a turn-based strategy game set in the Bronze Age. Here you compete with other civilizations for dominance over a geographic region. In the game, you expand your civilization on a hex-based map by acquiring various technologies, developing an economy, and managing small armies against multiple other rival civilizations. Welcome to the Funtastic YouTube channel. Today we'll be reviewing Ozymandias, developed by the Secret Games Company and published by Goblinz Publishing. If you enjoy our content, support us by liking and commenting on our video and by subscribing to our channel. This review focuses on 5 different segments of the game, starting off with the design of its UI and menus. The game opted for a very practical UI design, containing every setting and menu in the form of a book. We especially like this design since it fits the archaeological setting of the game, and the paper sound effects really help with the immersion. Arranging the different screens in the form of a book is also incredibly intuitive, as we instinctively want to flip the pages towards the right. Safe to say, the UI is very well thought out and makes the game easy to navigate. Now, onto the second part of the review, focusing on the onboarding of the game in the form of a multi-part tutorial. During the tutorial, you are assisted by real-life archaeologist Gertrude Bell through small text prompts. The tutorial has 4 stages, each explaining different game mechanics. Most strategy games encounter difficulties during the tutorial, since teaching players multiple game mechanics on top of each other can often lead to confusion. In the case of Ozymandias, the game is simple yet still engaging, so the chance of players being confused during its tutorial is much lower when compared to a AAA strategy game like Europa Universalis 4. However, teaching players strategy game mechanics will always be a challenge. Overall, Ozymandias has a comprehensive tutorial that not only teaches you how to play, but also tells an interesting story at the same time. However, we feel like the power calculation and wealth management can be difficult to understand for players that are new to such mechanics. As these features are extremely important, we feel like they require more time to be explained in detail. For example, by showing an image, comparing the power of 2 civilizations during a battle. Now on to the third and most interesting part of this review, the gameplay. Ozymandias has a fast-paced, turn-based gameplay, with each game being around 15 minutes to an hour long. The game starts out by picking a civilization. Each of these has a difficulty rating, benefits, and drawbacks. These can decide your playstyle from the start. For example, expansionists can expand for cheaper but have a harder time gaining wealth. This means you'll have an easier time in the early game when players are rushing to expand as fast as possible. These traits can bring extra flavor to your chosen nation and help with learning different playstyles. However, we feel like this mechanic could be improved on with, for example, trait-specific opportunity cards or victory conditions. As previously stated, in the early game, you're rushing to expand as fast as possible, but it's important to pick what tiles you expand into. Each tile has a base gain of knowledge, wealth, and food, which can be further upgraded with knowledge. These tiles can be islands, rivers, grasslands, plains, mountains, deserts, forests, seas, or cities. Each of these tiles is unique when it comes to resource management. For example, rivers give lots of food, but little wealth or knowledge. While deserts and mountains can give lots of wealth and knowledge, but are costly to expand and upgrade. The most unique tile type is the city. Cities are built by spending a high amount of food and can be grown the same way. Each city costs food to maintain but gives wealth and knowledge. They also make expanding easier, as the closer a tile is to one of your cities, the cheaper it is to take. One of our favorite parts of Ozymandias is the resource management. We mentioned them previously, but to clarify, these are the following. Knowledge. Knowledge is used to lower the cost of tiles or improve their gains. It can also be spent for more power in each tile respectively. Wealth. Wealth is used to purchase armies, reduce wasted resources, and it will be traded in for any other chosen resource at the end of your turn. Power. Power determines who wins or loses a fight. It can be gained with wealth, knowledge, or with opportunity cards. Food. Food is used to claim tiles, build, and expand cities. It is gained from most tiles, but rivers, plains, and grasslands give the most. Besides the 4 main resources, there's 2 more things you need to keep track of while playing. These are the following. Opportunities. Opportunities are gained in the form of cards. You can only hold 3 in total, but can change 1 at the end of your turn. These cards can give a flat reward like gain 2 food for each river tile you own, or in the form of a quest like build a city on a plains tile, after which you'll gain a bigger reward. This mechanic gives an extra layer of depth to the game, since some cards require a lot of planning or a change in playstyle. Victory conditions. To win a game, you must collect a number of victory points depending on the map. These points can be gained by completing wonders or certain opportunity cards. These can give 1, 2, or 3 points each, and they also depend on which map you're playing. The wonder requirements can range from reaching a specific power level, having many territories, having a large population, capturing enemy cities, and many more. When the required number of victory points is reached by a civilization, the game ends like this.
Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair.
In our opinion, the gameplay is just the right mix of balanced and chaotic. There are times when it feels unfair, either due to poor opportunity cards or whenever you get attacked by everyone at the same time. However, since each game is relatively short, you can always just jump into another and try again. The next segment will focus on the sound and music heard throughout the game. The game has many thematic sound effects layered together to immerse the player in the Bronze Age setting. This is especially true for the resource menus. For example, you can hear sounds of furnaces, coins, livestock, and for general ambience there's lots of drums, horns, flutes, harps, and gongs. The assortment of these instruments reinforces the Bronze Age setting even more. Overall, the sound and music is of great quality and helps a lot with the immersion. We'd also like to note that there are certain sound effects that just feel right. For example, placing lots of flags in one turn. Or getting a victory point. The music is also fitting. It's just the right mix of relaxing tones and upbeat instrumentals. As a whole, the sound and music complement the gameplay amazingly. Now on to the final part of this review, the art and visual elements. When it comes to the visuals of the game, the developers went with an organic, almost painted look. This art style is reminiscent of popular board games like Scythe, which isn't too surprising since the game feels very much like a board game. This is once again true when it comes to the animations. Ozymandias has relatively few and simple animations, as most of the legwork is done by the sounds. For example, instead of an animated battle, you just heard the sounds of fighting. The game only uses animations when it's necessary, for example when losing a unit. Displaying the amount of resources gained at the start of your turn, or displaying tiles under attack. Overall, Ozymandias is very visually appealing. With its historical setting and board game feel, its looks are consistent and of high quality. However, the lack of animations do make the game feel static at times. We specifically made this review because we have a deep appreciation for strategy games and board games. Ozymandias is a good example of how both genres can work together and make a short, fast-paced game that is very enjoyable. If you enjoy strategy games as well, check out Ozymandias on Steam or GOG. It's available for around $15. It also has multiple DLCs that include additional maps for only $1 or $2. The game has near endless replayability, as it also has multiplayer. Besides reviews, we make video games as well. We have one PC game in development and multiple mobile games out as well, so check them out and tell us what you think about them. If you want to support us, subscribe to our YouTube channel, wishlist our upcoming PC game on Steam, and tell us in the comments what game we should review next.